Now, yes, lots of old buildings have different construction methods. However, for most vernacular buildings, we are looking at composite masonry. So you've got multiple units, brick, stone, mud, all set together with a mortar to create a wall. So your image here on the right-hand side is what we class as a stone wall. It's basically just locally, readily available materials which were taken from near the site and set together with a mortar. So it was what was available to hand. Now, grander buildings, yes, you will find different building materials used. However, for the vast majority of construction, we are looking at this type of structure. It was what was readily available. And we also had to rely on what was readily available in terms of making mortar. So the masonry units that were often used would have been porous. So they allowed a certain amount of water or moisture in. So the mortar used for these types of constructions, they had to be softer and porous too. So the mortar was always weaker than the host surface, and it would have comprised of earth and or lime. So this depended largely on your location. Now, where I am in the world, we don't have any winnable sources of lime. So the predominant material that I come across is that of earth mortars. And then they would have had a little bit of lime thrown in with it just to bind it together. And then the lime would have been used more for your plasters or your renders or your pointing, more of your protective and decorative elements. But again, as we said, the mortar was porous. It allowed this ingress and egress through the masonry, and you created a breathable construction. So by having a mortar which was softer than that host masonry, it allowed for this moisture movement, but it also accommodated thermal movement. Again, as you've got a solid structure, as it heats and cools, you get this expansion and contraction within the masonry unit. So it was important that the mortar enabled that to occur.